Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Pepperbird TV network. I am your host, Nixanushka Wright, and we are hosting the Election Commission talk. Firesides chat, or how are we going to call this tonight?
It's just a general
We're just
overview.
going to be talking. I'm
Yeah.
your host, Nixanushka Wright, and this is my co host, the owner, the CEO, the founder of the Pepperword TV network. Please introduce yourself, Mr. Wallah Richardson.
Well, thank you, thank you, Nick. Thank you. Good evening to all of our many listeners and viewers at home. My name is Wallah Richardson Jr., and I'm excited to be one of the panelists on tonight's program. We have the LIBAC Election Commission in our studio for a general overview. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much. So, thank you for giving us that segue. I'm going to allow our wonderful guests, the election commissioners, to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about your position in this election race.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Nix, and thank you, Walla. Congratulations to the Pepperbird TV on your launch, and thank you for having us on your show. I also want to just extend gratitude to the two candidates who have exposed themselves to run for president in this community. It does take a lot to be a leader. It takes a lot to step up to the plate. So kudos to them and congratulations and thank you both for putting yourself out there to lead this amazing community. So my name is Sam Smith Jr. I serve as the chair of the Election Commission. Part of my role is really just overseeing a fair and transparent election process in partnership with the other election commissioners. We want to ensure that this community, um, at the end of the day, at the end of October 25th, will feel secure that the process was safe, the process was transparent, and they have chosen the right person to lead our community moving forward.
Thank you. That was really wonderful and amazing. Touches on congratulating our candidates or extending your gratitude to our candidates. It definitely does take a lot of ambition to run this community. So I'm going to toss it over to our second panelist, Mr. Sio. Please introduce yourself and your role in this election commission.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here. I also want to extend congratulations to the Pepperbird Network for hosting this event. We think it's going to be very informative, at the same time, very educational as well. From the standpoint of introduction, I bring you greetings. My name is Francis Sio, and I've been a native Charlatan for over 20 years. I've been here since 2000, so about 26 years. I serve currently as the vice chair on our elections commission, so I'm humbled to serve with our chairman and providing guidance to our elections commission. At the end of the day, at the end of the elections, we want to ensure free, fair, and transparent election. And this is what we bring to the discourse today. Hopefully we can provide additional information and context. Now, Francis Sio is also a household name in Charlotte. I served as the former chair of the Liberian Community Association here in Charlotte. I've served in multiple roles. Okay, I started from a financial secretary for so many years. I went to vice president, and then I served as chairman of the board. I am married to my wife with 27 years, and we have three beautiful kids. Professionally, I'm a banker, but for purposes of this discussion, I'm the vice chair on the Elections Commission. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. And he gave us a very verified, certified resume to ensure that he is competent to run this election. So thank you both for being on our panel and coming here to have a little bit of a discussion of what's going on within our Liberian community here in Charlotte. This election, as you may mention, Sam, will be on October 25th. What is the importance and why is this particular election or this particular race so important to our Liberian community? I'm posting this to both of you, to our Liberian community when it comes to the growth and the change that we all are wanting to see.
Yeah, sure. I think as a community, we are at a very pivotal point. We have a lot of opportunities ahead of us. We can build off the backs of the individuals who have really kind of set the foundation for this community, and use that as an opportunity to bring more awareness to things that are happening in the community. This election is also important because it's time for a change. I think as a community, we've operated in a specific silo for a very long time. And I think the two candidates that are running will allow us to bring fresh, refreshed, and new ideas into the community. What I would personally like to see is more collaboration. And I think this will allow that. Collaboration not only within the community, but collaboration outside of the community. There are other very organized groups that are out there that we could possibly partner with to do great things, to empower our people, to bring resources to this community. And I think this new leadership, no matter who it is going to really lead that work into the next generation.
Well, yeah, thank you so much there, Sam, for that little piece. Well, I'd like either you as the chairman or Commissioner Sio to kind of walk us through the entire process so we have, a great insight of what it looks like. And then I think we will propose multiple questions to you guys. So for our many listeners and viewers out there, they'd like to get a general overview right now. So how this entire process is gonna look like.
So you can start now.
Certainly. Thank you so much. So every 3 years, honored our constitution, the Liberian Community Association Constitution. Every 3 years, we run an election for the community. And in those elections, we ensure that executive leadership have an opportunity to present themselves to the voters or our members in this case. So this election, you have an opportunity as registered due paying member. I want to refine that. Registered due paying members. We have been in this community for over 25 years, and a lot of people have sat on the sidelines. I say registered due paying members because in my vocabulary, spectators don't win game. Only those who play, only those who are in the arena.
All right.
And for those of us who have been involved with the Liberian community, we may have stepped aside, but we have not stepped away.
Okay.
And being part of the community, we want to bring credibility, we want to bring accountability, and we want to bring more visibility to these elections. So the process begins with obviously the Elections Commission going through the guidelines and ensuring that it has been approved pursuant to our Constitution. The Constitution allows for the Election Commission to come up with the guidelines, and such will be approved by the board. Such have happened, and then information have been disseminated into our community through our General Assembly meetings. Those meetings have been held and information have been provided. Candidates have expressed their desire to run.
Okay.
And those candidates, having qualified from the requirements that we've put forth, we've screened them properly. And today we find ourselves with two candidates running in these elections. And those process, we've made it clear to our members, non-members, that in order to participate in these elections, you must be not just a due paying member, but eligible due paying member.
Yeah.
I refine that because some people, they have paid their dues, they are not up to date. And when we speak of eligibility, I'm sure we're going to get into that. But at the same time, information is important for people to understand. What do you mean I'm up to date, but I'm not eligible? So those processes, I'm hoping that we can explain to our listening audience to gain clarity and information, because at the end of the day, in the absence of important information, people form their own opinions. And so, what we're here to do is to provide the necessary information and sanitize the discussion, because there's a lot of misinformation out there. And hopefully, at the end of this discussion, if you will not hear anything from us, you will go more prepared and informed than you were before. And that's the process at the end. And at the end of this process, I assure you that not only will these elections be free, fair, and transparent, but it will also bring visibility to our community. Because election years are times where the community have more traction and visibility. In off-year cycles, you don't see that. So we are looking forward to these interactions.
And if I could just
Oh yeah, go ahead.
add a little bit to that. So everything Francis said, and the process was broken down into different phases. And that was intentional because there were specific deadlines that we wanted to make sure that we hit
Mhm.
to ensure that we were on the right track to
Right.
provide a free and transparent election.
Mhm.
It was broken down in phases, and each phase was about a quarter, about 2 to 3 months long. Starting off with just, as Francis stated, just building out the foundation of what the guidelines of what the election is going to look like. Then went through the process of candidates, opening the cycle for candidates to submit their application, and then as of July 1, this is the phase where candidates are officially allowed to campaign. So the two candidates who submitted their application are now campaigning. And then later in August and September, there's a second phase that we'll go through where we start certifying some of the voter rolls and providing that to the candidates so they can know who is part of that process. And October will be the last part of the various phases that we created for this election process.
Right. So while we're still on that, I want to touch base on eligibility, and I want you guys to emphasize just a little bit more before Nick's coming. Who's eligible to vote, and how can they verify, their eligibility?
So I'll start off and Francis could jump in.
Sure.
So the eligibility requirement is you have to be a member of this community. To be a member of this community, you have to pay, if you're not already a member, you have to pay $25 to join. And then by September 15th, you have to pay at least $90 in order to vote.
So member of the community and then member of the association.
Member of the community, well, a member of the association,
Association, okay.
$25, and then by September 15th, you would have to pay at least $90 in order to be eligible to vote. The eligibility is anyone 18 years of age and older. And then the last part of your question regarding how would they know, I'll pass that to Francis because he's leading that piece for us.
So a lot of times we have a lot of Liberians in our community. It would interest you to know that we have over 3,000 Liberians in the Charlotte and its environs community. However, on our official membership listing, we have a little over 1,000. Why do I say that? Even the 1,000 from the last few election cycles we've had, members have come in and gone. They are faded away because sometimes they will only come for elections and you don't see them again. This time around, we are revisiting, revising the list. So, membership, as you talked about, and the eligibility requirement speaks to your due payment, active due payment. He spoke of the $90, which we say to participate in these elections, you should pay up to $90. And there's a reason for that. History have shown us, ladies and gentlemen, that in our last election, there were those who came 2 weeks prior to election and paid $10. Well, we have taken the position that $10 will not decide who will be president of this community.
That's right.
In these United States, only citizens of the republic will vote. Green card holders don't vote. And so in the Liberian community, we are saying green card holders will not vote. Why we're saying that? Because there are people who have moved from Tennessee, from Texas, and other places, and you've been in our community 2 weeks, and you want to decide who should be our president. We are saying that will not happen this time around because we want those who have stake in the game or skin in the game to participate in our elections. So by paying the $90, at the same time, if you are an existing member, we are not requiring you to pay $25. We know our members. For those who we don't know, we ask probing questions because our membership gives us the opportunity to speak to, especially Article 6 and 7 of our Constitution tells us who is a member, who's not. And so if somebody who have never been in the community before comes around and say, I'm a Liberian, and they speak all of the Liberian colloquial and all of that, but yet they cannot show proof of residency. You cannot show your ID card. Then obviously we're going to have to ask additional probing questions to show something linking you to the community because we know people move in and out. So a lot of things will be happening in the background. Why it is true they are registering, it is also important for them to realize that be prepared for additional probing questions. Okay, I say this with all sincerity. Your registration, your due payment, there are people who are over 65, but they are registering as under. I mean, they are under 65, but are registered as over 65 because there's a provision in our constitution that says 65 and over should pay senior citizens due. And so Wallah Richardson Jr. comes and tells me he's 68 years old. I'm just giving an example.
Oh, yeah.
Wallah comes and tells me he's 68 years old, he paid $60 only because he doesn't want to pay the $90. Some people think by saving $30 is enough, but credibility is important.
Right.
When we get to that point where we start to screen the list, and Wallah Richardson cannot prove, Wallah Richardson Jr. now, because in our community we have multiple Wallah, so I just want to be sure. Wallah Richardson Jr. cannot prove to us that he is 65 and older, that automatically disqualifies him from voting in our elections. And we can go more into what the process of electioneering is. But I just wanted to provide that context because there are some people who are under 18 also trying to register in our elections and saying they are over 18. And maybe their parents are trying to register them, but there will be probing questions. There will be times if such evidence cannot be provided, I'm sorry to say, but they will be disqualified from voting in our elections.
That is amazing. So you guys have heard it here first. So make sure you are paying your dues of $25 to register, and you have to pay up to $90 in order to be eligible to vote. Now, let's get into the good stuff. And this is what I want to know. Mr. Sio, you made mention that you have a tenure here in Charlotte of 20 years being a Charlotte resident. So you have an extensive amount of experience and overview of how our city, our LIBAC community has changed with the different presidencies, the different boards, and things of that sort. So I want to pose this question to you, and I want to know, what do you think makes a qualified candidate for this election? And what do you think should be the rules of a candidate when it comes to governing this campaign?
A lot of factors play into the qualification of a candidate. It will interest you to know that I moved to Charlotte in 2000. So we have had 2 or 3 revisions to our constitution. Pursuant to the constitution, we are saying or we are asking that candidates who qualify for the presidency have either an associate degree or I underscore the word or because there have been debates where people say, well, I don't have an associate degree, but I have experience. Experience is also used to qualify those individuals who do not have, quote unquote, an associate or college degree. Because a lot of debates have been around that topic. So qualification comes from experience, participation in the community, as also educational credential. I said experience because we look at proven experience. We are not here to say you are doing work in Azerbaijan and nobody knows about it. But when the community knows about it, of course, the community can attest to the good work that you have done. Because in order for you to judge future performances, it is always important to look at past performances. And that's why we have been looking at in these elections and prior elections to bring these revisions. So qualification has to do with experience and credential. At the same time, obviously, likability. Because if the people don't like you,
Yeah.
no matter your experience or your qualification, you are not going anywhere.
Liberian people can say, you'll know what the Christmas will look like from the east.
Yes.
Y'all don't laugh my colories, but we'll get it small. So Sam, I want to pass the same question on to you because I know you also have an extensive amount of information and experience when it comes to being involved in politics. So what do you think make a qualified candidate?
I think Francis hit on a lot of it. We need someone who have a vision to move the community forward and not keep us stagnant. We need someone who not only have a vision but have a plan and has a step to accomplish those plans. I think if you have all of those, to me, that's what the top quality is. But then we'll also need someone who understands the importance of collaborating. I think that is an opportunity in this community that we don't have. There's a lot of different things happening in this community that could be more in sync with each other, and we miss out on that opportunity because we don't have currently. Well, I don't say currently, but there's been a gap in leadership from a collaboration lens that we need to bring back into this community. The other thing I'll add, in addition to everything Francis said, is that the two candidates have had to do some specific questionnaires. So we had about 4 questions that were part of the application process. Those questions are asking specifically about their vision for the community, where they see themselves, even if you are not elected as the president. And there was 2 other additional kind of probing questions to kind of understand and get a feel for if either candidate would be a good fit for this community. So we do have those questions. The candidates did respond to it, and I think the community would love to see or love to hear some of the great things that the ideas that these both candidates has posed to us.
I know this is kind of impromptu, but how would we be able to get that information when it comes to the presidency and what they think and what their vision is for our community?
Great question. I think that's going to be an additional question, but we are
Yeah.
the election commission is going to have a town hall with both presidents and their VPs later in the year. And Francis talk a little bit about those specific dates. I know that Pepperbird is hosting their own town hall at some point, but we want to encourage the candidates themselves to do town halls to bring the community together, talk about their vision and their plans and what they see as the opportunities in this community. And if at any point uh, individuals are interested in some of the questionnaires that we ask the candidates, I would say reach out to those specific candidates to provide those responses to you, because those responses are a really good indicator on their vision for this community.
Yes, guys, this is a very heated, intense election, and I just hope you guys are making the right decisions out there. So you've heard for our election commission, we have a lot more coming up. So please stay tuned and thank you for tuning in. Wallah, do you have any more questions for
Yeah. So
our panelists?
oh yeah, sure. First, I'd like to congratulate the election commission for setting up everything. What I deem standard operational procedure, the way you guys are operated from the get go and proceeding with things, I think has been phenomenal. So my question here, I know you guys launched a website or an email
Email.
for complaints and stuff
Yes.
like that. Before I proceed, have there been any complaints of any violations or any act that's deemed disdainful?
Yeah. So the email is libacElections@gmail.com. We do encourage the community, if you see things, hear things, because it's only 5 of us, so we cannot be everywhere.
Mhm.
But if you see things or hear things, please email libacElections@gmail.com.
Okay.
So far, we haven't gotten any complaints
Yeah.
of any election irregularities or people complaining about foul play. But we do encourage that, because part of the election guidelines, we want to avoid that and we want to investigate those things, because we want this election to be free, transparent, so individuals can feel comfortable in the voting process. And we have been very intentional about how tight we have been. As part of that, the election commission, we've all pledged that we will not participate or attend any of the candidates' formal election process. And that's by design, because you can complain about your election commission too, right? If you see us, and we do encourage that. So again, the email is libacElections@gmail.com. Please let us know if you see any election irregularities or foul play that's happening in the community.
Additionally, I'd like to add, because my chairman uh, pointed to our official complaint hotline or email address. A lot of times we have had situations where you have your Pepperbird
Mhm.
network or your Pepperbird platform. There's individuals who will go in the platform and make statements that alluding to complaint. And I've always said it is not official until such complaints reach our desk.
Yeah.
If I hear, or if anybody on our team hears something outside, until you formalize it, it's not a complaint.
Mhm.
And the way to formalize your complaint is what my chairman have just spoken about. Because at the end of the day, if you post in Pepper Bird, you post in the official LIBAC or Telegram,
Mhm.
and we have not received email of complaints,
Mhm.
then of course it is not official. So we want to ensure that that particular communication is open, is clear. Don't text me individually and say, "Oh, somebody's doing this."
Right.
Complain through what? The official email address. Then we take it official.
Right.
I just want to make sure we provide that clarity, because what we're doing here today, so sanitize a lot of misinformation that are out there.
Okay.
And really quick to that point, just to add to that, we will not be responding in any of the chats. I think Mr. CEO said it very well. We want the community to understand that. We do see it. We do see all of the complaints. We see the back and forth, but no member of the election commission will respond or engage in any election conversation in any of the chats.
Unless complaints go through the official channel.
If it goes to the official channel, we will respond directly to that individual that's submitting it, what our process is. But we will not come in the chat and say,
Right.
Francis submitted this, and here we're responding to it publicly. It will be directly to whoever submitted the complaint.
Okay. So thanks for that clarification. And this is gonna be really, really exciting now. We get into the interesting part, and next we'll continue with the questions being very standard. We have some Mahawa and Mr. Flomo, Uncle John, and everybody in the community. So to the general audience, permit me to go in simple Liberian English, so that everybody can understand.
Please do.
And next we'll continue with the standard. So, to switch it a little bit, there's this thing going on now in the community. The people will say cheating, cheating. That people play somewhere to cheat in the middle of finger the thing.
Yeah.
So for people who have those kind of thing that they think about that, people will finger things around here. I just want you guys to talk to Ente Hawa and the Tiwa. How will your votes be protected? What are some of the things that you're not put together and say, no cheating or kind anything?
That's a really good question. I can start with Mr. CEO. You can.
So
you can
to Mahawa out there who may not be able to read, but she has registered through a daughter or auntie or somebody. We assure you Liberia is a small community, so everybody knows everybody. It's safe to say that everybody knows almost everybody. Okay. We may not know 100% of the people, but we are promising that these elections will be free, fair, and transparent. We have a voting app that is called Tap Voter. We have also shared information in the General Assembly. We are now waiting for last minute to come and provide information. Why do we do that? To create a level playing field where all of the candidates have the same information that we're all dealing with. We want you to know how we are progressing. Because steady progress is important than no progress.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what we have done is to provide our voting populace a preliminary voting roll to give you an opportunity. It will interest you to know the last time we provided the information, there have been a 46% increase in participation. Why do I say that?
All right.
The number of people who were eligible to vote have increased 46%. Imagine next month when the new list comes up, that number will continue to grow because people want to own the process. People now have understood how important it is to be a part of this. So we assure Mahawa, we assure Mantini that if she cannot vote and she comes to the voting booth and say, I want to vote for candidate A, one of the controls we also have in place is that we are inviting representatives from each party or side. I want to be careful to say party. I don't want to say side because this is a non-profit organization, if that's okay. So Mahawa will bring somebody from one side and the other person from the other side to sit there while counting is going on.
With the unsaid album.
With the unsaid album, so they can see in Liberia, say Kolo Kolo, right? So you can see Kolo Kolo. That way, if you come to us and say you want to vote for candidate A, we're not taking your ballot to make you vote for candidate B because representative from A and B will be there, right? So they see how the ballot form will be filled up because Mahawa, you can't read. So we make sure in that instant, everybody see it and we'll put it in the box.
So picture will be on the ballot.
Picture will be on the ballot. Picture, we have only two candidates, right?
Yeah.
So if the Wallah, we have Annie Jones and we have Ross. So we have the picture. Mahawa can read. She comes to say that is what I want.
Okay.
I'm just giving you an example.
Yeah.
They person that the person I want will ensure her vote is secure, it is counted, it is placed in the ballot for processing. There's another flip to it though. Just in case Mahawa, hopefully we'll get into that. We also have an opportunity for our early voting. Mahawa said, my son, I will not be in town from the 18th to the 21st. To the 22nd and 23rd.
Yeah, I'm just about to get a key deadline.
The key
Or
deadline.
So yeah.
Okay, so he will talk about it. Mahawa said, I will not be in town, but I won't vote because I finished paying my money. We will ensure Mahawa will have to call us. Mahawa don't know computer. When we verify it's Mahawa, then Mahawa says, send it to my son, Wallah. Example. We show Mahawa that only that one vote will go to her son will vote and send it to us for on behalf of Mahawa, who has clearly no computer knowledge. She know how to fill out the ballot, but she has authorized us. I underscore the word authorized because we would have done our probing questions. Because we're not just sending ballot to anybody.
So right. I mean, let me go in there real quick and inject this because I think it's very important. So Mahawa pays her due, right? She leaves Charlotte for business.
Yeah.
Elsewhere, right? And that vote has been open for people to vote, early.
Yeah.
Now,
voting.
can Mahawa vote from Liberia if she's in Liberia?
Electronically, we can email Mahawa vote to the person she designated.
Okay.
To a person because Mahawa can read.
Okay.
Mahawa is in Liberia. We already know she will not be in town from the 18th to the 20th, the open period or the early period. So Mahawa informs us during that period that I want to vote. I'm in Liberia. Send my ballot to John Doe.
Okay.
An example. We confirm that. We know that Mahawa is on our voter roll. We confirm Mahawa is in Liberia. She can now vote, and she tells her son or her daughter or whoever her destiny is who she want to vote for, and that person, in my opinion, can vote for the candidate of her choice. Mahawa will not have two ballots. So long Mahawa finish voting,
So one ballot.
she's done.
So if Mr. Noble is in Liberia, he can read, he can write, it'll be just vice versa. The email will be sent to Mr. Noble.
Correct.
And Mr. Noble can
vote.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Commissioner Smith.
Everything. Let me just add a couple more key things there. One, early voting will be the week before October 25th.
Yeah.
So it will be from October
18
to the 23rd.
Yes.
So that Monday to that Friday. In order to vote early, you have to send us an email and let us know that you want to vote early. To what Mr. Sio said, we have to verify one is you're eligible voter. Then you will get your early voting ballot.
Okay.
You can vote early. After October 23rd, 11:59, there will be no more early voting ballots being sent out to anyone. On October 25th, that's election day. Our goal is just try to automate this process as best as we can, so nobody is sitting there counting and someone is saying you're cheating, you're not cheating, you're cheating. So October 25th, our goal is we'll have an election location. Everybody who haven't voted early can come to the election location. Again, everything is done digitally through Top Voter or Top Vote. And when you come to the location, we'll have QR codes. You scan the QR code, you have your ballot on that QR code. The ballot will only have two people on the ballot, either Miss Jones or Mr. Ross. No one else will be on the ballot. You'll vote electronically. We will have a representative from both candidates standing with us the whole day. At the end of the day, we will look at the ballots because we will have a few paper ballots for folks who may not be able to do it electronically. But we're not going to have a lot of paper ballots. The goal is everybody's going to do it electronically because we want to have live reporting. So we already have early voting tallied up before October 25th. On October 25th, we want everything to be done electronically. We may have a few paper ballots. At the end of the day, we're going to show electronically within 30 minutes who won the election. We'll send it out to the candidates and we'll let the community know within 30 to 45 minutes because, again, everything will be completed electronically on election day.
Right. So, lastly, right before next coming here, and this, speaks to the integrity of the, election commission.
Yeah.
I just want to break this again into simple Liberian English because we know our people, how we operate and conduct business.
Yeah.
So, if someone call you, let's say the early voting, comes to an end, and that person is in Chicago or is in Liberia, anywhere. I said, Tommy, man, Sam, you need to talk to her, man. See you, man. Right now. I mean, I know y'all said the deadline or yesterday, but man, I forgot. My man, I know I could, but somebody just called me. I mean, I got to open that thing for me to do my thing. So how can you guys withstand that Liberian pressure? Because we have seen it a lot of times.
There will be no pressure. At the end of the day, at 11:59, the ballots are the early voting are closing. On election day, we haven't specifically set out the time that will stop, but we're more likely between 6 or 7 o'clock to give us time to tally everything.
Okay.
It's closing. Once it's closed, it's closed.
Thank you.
I want to also emphasize something Mr. Sio said. So the week of early voting, if Mahawa is in Liberia, she could do exactly what Mr. Sio said. But on election day, there will be no proxy voting.
Right.
You have to come in person to cast your vote. And if you cannot come in person, so if Mr. Sio happened to get sick on election day and he didn't vote early voting, he can't say, Sam, can you go in
Right.
and vote for me because this is what I want. On election day, he will not be able to do that. That's called proxy voting.
Right.
He will either have to show up to vote or he will essentially just lose that vote when the voting polls close. So I want to emphasize that because we don't want people sending someone to come vote for them. We have to verify
Right.
IDs on election day. Early voting, we're going to do that via the process that Mr. Sio mentioned.
I want to add also exactly what he just said. That's why we are providing you all this information today. And this will not be our first or our last voter education. I'm hoping that you all will serve as ambassadors for your own community because what you don't know, you can't respond to. We are providing the information now. We will continue to provide the information. So when the window opens, there will be no reason to say I did not know. And then when the window closes, we're not doing that thing that where you say, oh, my begin to do that. If the time pass or elapse, no, let me just say pass for Mahawa's sake. When the time pass, Mahawa, you can't vote again because this is the first in our history, in our Liberian community history, that we are bringing early voting because we are listening to our people. And as a matter of fact, it was Wallah Richardson Senior who asked this question in one of our meetings that is there a room for early voting? We went back to our drawing board and we said we are here to serve our people. And as such, we decided to do that. So if in that 1 week you still can vote, then what else can we do? We're not going to take your early vote on the 15 or the 10 because you're traveling to Liberia. It should be during that window. It should be during that window. After that window, like the chairman said, if you are not available to vote, that means you're not interested in voting.
Right.
But what I see when I say voting card and Wallah Junior to come vote for 2 people, that one will not happen. Okay? I'm hoping that people can provide more information around that.
I really want to thank both of you all for hosting and creating such a transparent, ensuring if people say I can too much stand in English, let me switch it to global. Creating such an election process to where we can actually see what is going on within our community, right? So I really want to bring up this point because I feel as though even within our Liberian community, we can still see the same effects affecting Liberia when it comes to who we're voting for. So what do you think is almost a parallel of what we see in our community now to what we can see happening in Liberia?
Now compared to what's happening in Liberia. In Liberia, we always there's a saying, if you enjoy Christmas, you know for the Eve. Okay?
Yeah.
So in elections, Liberian elections, you can tell the Liberian voter prior to the election who the Liberian people going to vote for. Information is key. We are ensuring that we provide information to everybody. We will now wait for our voting populace to have the information. What you do with the information is another thing. So if you don't use the information to your advantage, then you cannot blame anybody because they always say everybody's interconnected. And this is the reason why we are injecting transparency into these elections. As transparent as these elections are, by providing you the information, it is left with you to reach your people. If you don't reach your people, if Christmas Eve, you don't reach your people, you don't talk to them to vote for you. Then Christmas Day, you won't talk to them on your own.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, whether it's Liberia or it's America, candidates go to the length and breadth of places. You will see them going to people or places that they don't usually visit only because they want your vote. They want to hear from. That's why I'm encouraged by what you are doing and what my chairman said. They should continue to host more and more awareness session or town hall, however you call it. But pay attention and look forward to these debates because it promises to be very interactive.
And entertaining.
Yeah, entertaining. Pay attention to this debate because the debate will also inform as other things are happening.
Yes.
And to me, honestly, I don't really see a lot of differences in what happens in Liberia and what's going to happen with this election. People have their mind made up. Each candidate is rallying their folks to support them. What I would encourage and empower this community to do, because this is something, what's happening in Liberia and what's happened in the past, we trying to avoid that. No matter what candidate you're going for or you're supporting, educate yourself. Educate yourself on the candidate, because oftentimes we go for somebody because we like them, but we don't go for them because they have the right vision for this community. And we need to change that. We need to stop voting on emotion and voting because we want to see a change. Because when you vote on emotion, you get the same thing. When you vote because you understand the platform, you see that vision is extremely clear, you vote and you will see that change. And I want to encourage this community, don't vote because you like them. Vote because you want to see a change in this community. That 2 years from now, 3 years from now, you can sit back and say, wow,
Look at the difference.
that person has really turned this community around.
Yep.
That's what I would empower this community to do.
That's super important, and I'm glad you touched on that point because that's exactly what I want to drive home. I'm not a part of the election commission, so I can say what I'm going to say. I can have my own opinions, but we are not going to go into that tonight. So while I'm gonna pass it over to you, is there anything you want to say to kind of wrap this up or end up this on this high note?
Yeah. I want to direct a question to the Commissioner Chairman Smith and Commissioner Sio. So my question to you, Chairman Smith, there's been this widespread things among people in the community as far as I think you touched on it earlier on as far as eligibility. I want to come back to it. Someone moved here in July, and they should pay the dues from January all the way up to October. So why is that? Because I know there have been a lot of things surrounding this.
Whatever you do in this world or in this community, it comes with benefit.
Yep.
The benefit of paying your dues is your ability to vote for someone you think is going to make a difference in this community. So it doesn't matter when you join the community. Two things I would say to that. One, this community doesn't operate on air and conversations and please help me and please help me. It takes money to operate a community. It takes money to operate an organization. Paying your dues is you contributing as an individual to the operations. Now, there's a whole different conversation as to I pay my dues, I haven't seen anything. That's separate. But in order for an organization to operate, you need funding. Part of that is paying your dues. The other benefit of paying your dues is your ability to vote. You don't pay your dues, you can't vote. And in order to vote, you need to pay your full dues. This is where the process is equitable for everybody. $90 by September 15th. If you came in this community on September 14th and you said, oh, wow, I want to participate in this. I have read up on the candidates. I know who's doing what, how they're doing it, and I love their ideas. I want to be a part of this. September 14th before 11:59. I mean, September 15th before 11:59. You pay your dues, you have your right to vote. Paying your dues gives you the benefit to vote. If you don't pay your dues, you can't vote. Doesn't matter when you come into the community. If you want to be a part of this community, if you want to be a part of the election process, you have to pay your dues.
I'd like to add something to
Yeah, I
that too
definitely
as
want
well.
to hop into jump inside. Please go ahead.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I can.
Yep.
So when you think about this holistically,
Right.
you will come to the conclusion that somebody who moved in the community a month ago, will we count his or her vote as half or full?
It's a full vote.
It's a full vote.
Yeah.
And so to have a full vote,
Yeah.
full participation, well, we are asking you again, green card holders don't vote in this country.
Okay.
You have to be citizen to vote. However, how much you pay for your citizenship to vote, you will pay sweat and whatever it is to obtain your citizenship. If you want to speak into our election, because voting is speaking. If you want to speak and decide who wants our community, even though you just moved here, then we are saying to you, pay the full amount. It was interesting to know during our last meeting, I had a conversation with one of these ladies. I've forgotten her name. For purposes of this conversation, she asked a serious question. I just moved here last month. Why you can make it half? Will your vote be half? Are we going to count your vote as half or whole? If you want your vote to count as whole, pay your whole due. Tomorrow, if you moved here yesterday, pay your full due, or else you will now vote, or wait for 2 years from now or 3 years from now when you have gained notoriety in our community. Then we can say, okay, this person has been here for some time, we can vote. But on this election, my chairman has spoken on this, we have spoken on this, and the election commission will not bend. If you don't pay your $90 minimum, you can't vote.
And I really want to speak to our young people, as a youth, 18 and up, of course. Sometimes we can look into paying, it's $115. I think it's the total with the $25 registration and the $90 dues payment, as it's not worth it. But I think our election commissioners has really stressed the fact that your voice matters.
Yes.
Especially in this election. I'm not a part of the election commission team, and I'll say that again and again. I think this is such an important and important election for us to see visual change when it comes to collaboration, vision, and strategy of how we want our Liberian community to look like within the near future for our children. So while I'm going to pass it to you, so y'all please pay y'all dues and register. I told myself to, so not yet.
Yeah, let me, I think the chairman wants to say something. So I'll give the other two to speak because they're about to get rid of firing.
First, thank you for lifting that. I think where we have missed the opportunity as a community, we haven't really touch or empower our youth to get involved. I want to challenge every well-bodied, hardworking adult out there. If you have a kid, a family member, a niece, a nephew, a son, a daughter that's 18 years of age in this community, and they can afford to pay the $90 to vote by September, please pay it for them. The youth want to see change.
Yes.
I see it on TikTok, I hear it, I see it on Instagram. The youth are not involved because they feel like their voice isn't a part of this. I think both candidates have the ability to get more youth involved. So I want to encourage you all out there to please pay those dues, pay your kids dues, pay somebody due, and get these young folks 18 and up involved in this process, because they are the next generation.
Absolutely.
They are the next movers and shakers. They are the next voice for this community. A lot of these young adults are making moves in Charlotte as I speak to you right now. They need to take all that energy and pour it into this community.
Right.
And the only way we'll do that unless they encourage and empower to do that. The other thing I want to say really quick about dues, I know we keep stressing $90. The dues are actually $120 for your year's dues. It's $10 a month.
Yes.
If you're already a member. If you're not a member, $25, $10 a month. The reason that is important because we're stressing $90 by September 15th because the election will be October 25th.
Yes.
But we have another election that will be happening in November. So in order to vote in that election, you will have to pay your 4 years due, which is $120. So if you're able to pay your dues, just pay it $120. You finish.
All right.
Don't wait. Don't wait your $120 because we'll be electing board members. We'll be electing board members in November, and then we'll do a full inauguration for, I think it's 3 board seats that are available. We'll do a full inauguration for the board members and the presidency. And I want to encourage and talk to the young people out there. I know a lot of y'all didn't register to run for president. That's fine. But please consider serving on our board for this community. We need young ideas. We need young perspective. We need young people to challenge the status quo.
Right.
We can't sit in the background and say we don't like what they're doing. They're old. They don't know what they're saying. We need y'all to be a part of it. Challenge the status quo. And how you can do that is to apply to be on the board. And those applications will open after October 25th.
Thank you.
I like to add also that the data is showing that we have some increase in youth participation.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what the data is trending right now. So I'm hoping that, like my chairman has said, we can increase that voting block. We have increase in youth participation from the data we've seen so far.
Yeah, and I think the youth has also gotten so fed up with our current administration. Like I said again, I'm not on the election commission. About current administration, where it's so we're trying to move and we're trying to shake and we're trying to implement certain things, and it's being pushed back. So, like I said again, guys, please make sure you stay informed and to make the best decision for our community. Wallah,
Yeah.
pass it over to you.
Yeah, so right before I get to Commissioner C, I know my phone have been, bombarded with messages. Let me just announce that we will be opening the phone lines. Right after I ask Commissioner Sio some questions here, we will be opening the phone lines, and the number to call is 704-777-9110. We will take 5 live calls again. 704-777-9110 will be the number to call. Once we open the phone line, we're going to announce it. So please hold on to the calls just yet. Commissioner C, I want to talk to you directly. I know there have been widespread speculation all around our community. Like you said earlier on, the name Sio is a household name in Charlotte. And I just want us to sanitize a few things while we have, this opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
When I started, learning about this community a little bit more, I realized that even the article of incorporation and all that was, initiated by you and few others, and even the 501(c) of this organization still bears your address, to speak to that. Now, this speculation has been going around because I've been doing a lot of media work with people saying that, with one candidate, the Jones Reigns team, they are saying that that team, if that team win, I want to use just a little bit of politics in this because I want to be very, very clear. That if the Jones Reigns wins this election, the name Francis Sio and his family, will be running the affairs of this community because your wife has declared her support for Kennedy Annie Jones and Musa Reigns. How can you speak to this community to demystify some of those things, to clear the air that would separate your participation as an election commission than that of your family ties, or how your wife or kids will be voting in this election? I just want you to speak to the community, to many people that have that doubts out here that the CEOs want to come and run this community through another channel.
That's a great question, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to address that. A lot of times when people don't have substantive issues to bring, they result to misinformation and disinformation. It will interest you to know that even in the United States, husband and wives can be Republican and Democrat, but yet they live in the same household. But when people are not informed, they throw anything at the kitchen sink. The name Francis CEO, the community existed, but I lifted the community from the place where we had established articles of incorporations. But upon our ascendancy to the association, we amended the articles of incorporation to provide for 501(c)(3). And I personally, through our knowledge of the event and the situation, we applied for the 501(c)(3) with the IRS, and we got it. We did so because, again, I run a tax business, CEO Tax and Financial Services. I've done it for my foundation, I've done it for my church. And when I'm part of something, I want to leave a legacy that today or tomorrow, when the name Francis is mentioned, we have positive things to say. Nevertheless, there are some naysayers and detractors who will say the otherwise. What we did for our community, the history records are there to show. At no point in time will I be part of something and don't make an impact. We are grateful to God for giving us the opportunity to make that impact. Some people wish they could. You talk about the physical address, it carries my name. I have said to subsequent president, LIBAC does not have an office. LIBAC does not have an office. However, if you so choose to change the address every 2 years, be my guest. All right. So we've said that. If you want to change the address, go ahead and change the address. There are people who incorporated the United States. They long gone, but the legacy still lives on. You cannot change history, and we are glad to be part of this history. Now, when it comes to voting, the individuals who think that Francis Sio will influence some people like Annie Jones or Musu, I guess they don't know these people, because these are independent women with substance who bring a lot to the table. I'm not here to campaign for anybody, but I believe it is an insult to the candidacy of the Jones Reams team for anybody to insinuate that a Francis Sio will run. What a Francis Sio has done and continues to do through multiple presidency is to help shape our community. I've stepped away, but I've not stepped aside. Right now, I'm shaping our community by my presence on the Elections Commission. Okay? And so, whether it's Jones Reams or it's Ross Cote,
Ross. Yeah.
Francis ain't going nowhere. And nobody can run me away from the community. I will still be here because I believe we are here to serve our community. So I'm hoping that those people providing that misinformation will sit and ask themselves, well, why this man? Why? My proximity to someone does not translate into me controlling how they will run. If you were to become president today or tomorrow, does that mean I'm not friends with you? So people who bring in those debates, they don't understand the dynamics of politics. Liberia is a small country. We know everybody. I know Ross. I know Annie Jones. And these people bring a lot. And I said to you, if you enjoy Christmas, you will know from the eve. Whatever these people are bringing, whatever debate, whatever agenda they are presenting to you, an uninformed society is a dangerous society.
Absolutely.
I'm hoping that our community will be informed during this time, ask the hard questions. We don't run away from questions. We have faced the bullets in this community, and we continue to face that because we know what we bring to the table. And I'm hoping that our Liberian people who continue to elevate this narrative will ask themselves a hard question. Why now? Has he not been there before? So they need to stop this information. They need to get a hold of themselves, because I think sometimes people are just mesmerized by the new Francis Sio, so sometimes they don't know what to say.
Okay.
But we're here. So I can understand where they're coming from. But if you don't have a debate to raise, then be quiet.
And let me add some context to that too. After the elections, if he chooses to step down from the election commission, he is a free man. He can literally support or do whatever he wants, whoever campaign that wins. Let's just be clear. All of us commissions are human. We are still contributing to this community. So for the sake of this election, we are not bonded to no. We're impartial. We can care less about what
all be voting.
We will be voting. We're impartial. We could care less to what candidate is doing what. We're not attending candidates' event. We're not supporting candidates. And I want to speak to the community. If you see any of the election commissions supporting, engaging, having conversation with candidates, official election process, and the election commissions are Sam Smith, Francis Sio, Gonda, Cyrus, and Miss Linda. If you see any of us engaging any bias towards any candidate, please email LIBAC Elections. We will investigate it, and if it calls to, we will remove that person. But after October 25th, he's free to support whoever candidate wins and serve as much as he wants, because again, his vision is to see a better community. But as the sake of the election commission, he cannot do that right now.
Yeah, and directed to you, Mr. Chairman, have there been any complaints so far of any member of your commission offering political advice to any of the candidates?
They haven't. And I want to encourage the community, if there ever is, please email LIBAC Elections at Gmail. So we can investigate.
He just talked about it, but it's also important for Mahawa to know.
Yeah.
Speaking to Ross in the public or Annie in the public does not constitute electioneering.
Yes.
Make sure you it's important to dissect that too, because we may be out of function. We're talking to people we know, and somebody comes and say we are electioneering. No, we are speaking specifically of campaigning event. When you are having your campaign event, like the chairman said, we will not be there because we don't want to project ourselves as buyers. But I would not see you in the street. They are papa you because they say election commission. No, that will not be. I get one man. I want to be clear. I see Rosso, I see Anio. Those are my people. I will speak to them. We still talk.
Absolutely.
So long we are not in a campaign setting, we still have a conversation.
All right. So the numbers to call, the number to call is 704-777-9110. Again, 704-777-9110. We are taking calls now. Please, if you have any questions or concern, please call in and address them to the commissioner chairman here in studio, Mr. Sam Smith Jr. and Commissioner Francis Sio. So the lines the lines now open. Wallah, do you have any?
I do. So, what is the message that you want to leave with our Liberian community? I know we're about to.
I'm sorry. I think we have a call coming here. We have a call coming here.
Oh my, that was great. I'm like, why are you across the way today?
Yeah. Good evening, caller. Please announce your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Yes, hello. Good evening to all. Good evening to our guests and honorable commissioners. Thank you so much for making everything clear. This is Mr. Eric Trump on the line.
Thank you, Mr. Eric Tom. Go ahead with your question. You have 1 minute.
Our commissioners, I have my question to you all is you guys have played a major role in our community, serving different capacity. So my question to the both of you is very simple. What have you seen in the past that is different this year, and what do you look for when it comes to the organization? That's my question.
So, so what have I seen in the past that is different this year? In the past, we had situations where, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No, he's listening to you now.
So, Mr. Trump, thank you for the question. In the past, we've had situations where there will be a John Doe who come in September and want to vote in October. Because of that experience, we are changing it this year. This year, we are making sure that our people pay the full year because voting numbers, you don't have half vote, you have full vote. So we are changing that narrative. That's why the Election Commission is saying pay a full year due. We're doing that because we want to encourage full participation. That has changed. We also have seen a rise in youth participation because you want to have a stake in our elections. We believe that you can do so by paying your dues. What has also changed today compared to last time, we have the privilege of sitting on the Pepperbird Network to discuss issues pertaining to our community. Before then, it was just text messages here and there. So with this platform giving us an opportunity to sanitize the air, it did not exist before. We have WhatsApp. So a number of things have changed. I'm blessed with the passage of time in association with my community to know that back then we did not have a WhatsApp chat room with over 300. I don't know what the number is right now, but
about 330.
We didn't have all of that. That has changed. We have people like Eric Trump that can call from wherever to ask questions, and we are here to answer your questions. So we are here to serve, and those are the things that have changed that we didn't have the last time. The participation and engagement has been more visible.
Thank you so very much. Again, 704-777-9110. We will take in the next call here soon. So Nick, you can go ahead.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think is the difference?
So I think everything Mr. Sio has said is correct. I also think that we have created a really strong and transparent process that I haven't seen in the past. So Mr. Sio talked about just releasing of the voter rolls. We are doing that intentionally. We are not trying to call anybody out. We're not trying to expose anybody. We really truly want people to know if you are eligible to vote at this current moment, and if you're not eligible to vote at this current moment, so you can know what to do. Because come September 15th, if you haven't paid your dues, there is no, oh, let me pay on the 16th. Can you please make an exception for me? So I think that's one of the things. And then going back to just, we have a strong process. We have a strong structure in our election process now than I have seen before. And it's very transparent. And you're going to see that on October 25th. And I don't think we've seen that in the past. The last thing I'll add is we're going away from paper and we don't know who's filling out what thing and people just do it. Everything is being done electronically. So, Mahawa, you don't know how to work your computer and your phone. You may have a small problem, but we'll work with you. But everything is being done electronically, intentionally for efficiency purposes, and that's one thing that I've seen that has changed.
So let's do a quick recap on important dates that our community needs to pay attention to. Believe it's September 15th is the last day to pay your dues in order to be eligible to vote.
Yeah.
Early voting starts October 18th up until October 22nd, with the official election day being October 25th.
Yes.
So please keep those dates
Let's
in
add
mind.
some additional dates to that.
Okay.
So September 22nd, we'll continue to release the voter roll to the community at every community meeting every month. On October 22nd, we'll release a full voter roll to the community because we will know on September 15th who all will be voting, who are eligible. Between September 22nd and September 29th, we will be either editing that list or adding to that list. In that window, we will also be ensuring that the candidates have a up-to-date, accurate voter roll that they can now use to say, oh, I see my people here. I don't see my people here. They will do that. They'll do that too on September 22nd to kind of course correct and check us and make sure we have everybody. But in that week, we'll be updating the final update to the list. And then if Mr. Sio could speak to the 2 dates for the debates that we have scheduled and the time. We don't have a location yet. It will be streamed live as this is on the Pepperbird network. But if you could speak to those specific dates for the
Certainly. So
debates.
we're also going to be having 2 debates. September, I believe we said September 15 or so. I just have to give the exact date. September and October. We are planning those 2 debates. We have the debate
September
guidelines
12, October 17th.
September 12th and October 17th.
Okay.
September 12th and October 17th will be the dates for the debates. The place and time have not been confirmed yet. You know, we are at we operate at the at somebody else's expense because we don't have a place of our own. So we're going to be asking for a place to host, and obviously the Pepperbird Network has agreed to partner with us to broadcast it live to individuals who cannot be physically in the room.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So those days, September 12th and October 17th, are the 2 days we have earmarked for our debates. The chairman also pointed to something that I think is also important. We want to ensure, as we continue checking and rechecking the list, validating the list, for individuals who have paid their dues, keep a copy of your receipt. Scan it, screenshot it, whatever you can do, because we are giving you the information now, right? We are updating the list. If for any reason, we are humans, you don't see your name on the list, but you have proof of payment, bring that to our attention sooner rather than later. Because if you don't bring that to our attention, and we're giving a report every month, the financial secretary giving a report, we are providing the updated rule. If you don't do that and you waited for October 24th, then we're not going to correct it then. That's why you said we have a window to correct things.
September 22nd.
September
to
22nd to the 29th. So please make sure, keep your receipt, give us a receipt now. You send it to the financial secretary, we update the rule. But if you don't do it during that time and you bring it on the date of elections, we're not going to be updating on election day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Again, 704-777-9110 if you would like to call in to address your questions to the Election Commission here in studio. I also have 3 texts I just came in, so I just want to read out all 3.
They said there's questions on the live too.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. So
I see
we'll
that.
be answering them. So let me just read all these 3 texts real quick, and then I'll just pass it to you guys to answer, and then we will wrap it up. One of the questions here, it says, where can viewers find official election updates and reliable information? That's question number 1. And then question
Can
number
we
2.
answer it first?
You want
Let's
to
take it one at a time.
So really
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
because we're wrapping
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
things.
absolutely. So we don't have an official LIBAC election website. So what we can do, if someone is interested in updated information where we are, you can email LIBAC Elections at gmail.com, and we'll share that information. And what we will do when we meet again as a commission, as commissioners, we will put together a plan where we can at least update the community via the 3 community chats so everyone can know. But we'll be more than happy to come on here in studio however many times you all like to answer or provide updated information. But the best way to get that is liveback at gmail.com.
And then you also talk about the chat rooms. What you're doing today is a way of informing the community. So we are grateful to the Pepper Bird Network.
Thank you.
We have to continue saying this because it's part of our information dissemination strategy. We have our Telegram chat. We have the Pepper Bird, but Mahawa, they don't know how to read WhatsApp. They don't know how to read Telegram. So we're talking to you directly. Mahawa can take our phone and watch Facebook just in case. And then we are available to answer more questions through our email and phone numbers as well.
I'm really, really excited for this debate with these presidential candidates because I think it's really going to show who will be competent to lead our community. I'm just joking. But Wallah, do you have any other questions before we wrap this up? I think this has been very informational. I know our community is fed. I've seen one of the questions on there was, if someone is not in school, how do we educate them? I think that will be something that we're leaving for our president to speak on. But other than that, if you have any other questions, please put it in the chat or give us a ring. And again, that's the number is 704-777-9910.
No, 9110.
9110.
So 9110. So since there's no call coming, I'll just read out the last text here, and then we'll just wrap it up. We'll ask you guys for closing statements. The last question here, it says, I think it's from our general manager. Is there anything within acts that you think the public should know? Is there anything as a wrap up?
I think it's part of our closing comments as well.
Okay.
What we're saying to our general population, everybody, is that voting have privileges, okay? And decisions are made by people who show up. If you don't show up, somebody will decide for you. In the state of Charlotte, you very well know that we have a very low voter participation rate. You may register, but if you don't show up to vote, all right, even here in America, we have a low voter participation rate. We want to encourage those of you who are registering to show up.
Okay.
Showing up is important because you solidify your vote by making a decision. Come and vote. If you don't vote, somebody will run your community for you. That's all we can say to that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I would say 2 things. One, as he said, voting have privileges, but voting also have consequences. So if you just sit back and say, well, I don't like one candidate versus the other, and you don't vote, the consequence is you can't get angry when whoever wins decide to do things, the vision they're projecting onto this community. So we want to encourage the community to please turn out to vote. Voting have consequences when you don't vote. Voting have consequences when you don't do your research and get educated. Don't vote because you like a person. Vote because the person's vision is aligned to making this community a better community for all. The last thing I would say to your question you didn't ask, and I want to put clarity around this. We are going to be very intentional about, who's eligible to vote in this community. So if you don't live in the Mecklenburg County or the surrounding county per our constitution and bylaws, if you live in Wake County, but you got connection here and your ID says Wake County, you will not be voting in this election. You have to have a license that is with this community and or the surrounding county per our bylaws and constitution. I want to say that because that wasn't asked, so we want to put that out there for folks.
So I think the eligible counties are Mecklenburg,
and the surrounding
Cabarrus, Arundel,
Gaston,
yes,
and Union.
And so what about Lincoln County? Because it's right next door.
It's not per our constitution. It's not proxy.
Because Lincoln County, a part of Morrisville, is in
Well,
Lincoln
if it's
County.
part of Morrisville, then yes.
So Lincoln County and Iredell County, because a lot of folks are shifting.
So it's
towards
whatever the
this county.
surrounding county around Mecklenburg that
That's
touches Mecklenburg County.
Okay.
Those are the folks.
So that's
when they prove their IDs, will be able to vote. So if you live
Also-
outside of the surrounding counties and not Mecklenburg, you will not be eligible to vote.
Like you said, voting have privileges. We have over 1,000 people on our active membership listing, but they have not paid the dues, so they cannot vote. Imagine the statistics we provided to everyone. You have less than 100 eligible voters right now, but in a community with over 1,000 members,
Okay.
what happened to the 800 or 900? Is it that they are just disinterested or what? We don't know. But come September, we are hoping that 100 will go to 500, 600. Because our history have shown in the last election, we have between 5 to 700 votes in the last election. Today, as of today, the number of eligible voters is under 120. What does that say to our community? A lot of people are sitting on the fence. A lot of people have said to me, I'm not going to vote. I'm just going to support whoever candidate that wins. But nevertheless, like the chairman said, voting got consequences. If you don't vote and you decide to sit on the fence and say, oh, I'm not going to pay my $90, I'm not going to do anything, whoever wins, so be it, then whoever wins will decide the state of affairs for our community.
So 1 minute each, any parting statements. We'll wrap this thing up.
Yes, for me, I want to say thanks to the Pepper Bird Network for the opportunity to come and provide some information. I'm hoping that this will not be the last. We should do a series of these as we get closer and closer to the elections. We encourage you to email us, follow Pepper Bird, follow our Telegram chat room, and we are here to ensure that our elections will be free, fair, and transparent. For those of you who have called me to cheat for somebody, this message is going out to you directly because today I'm not calling your name, but the next time you pick up phone and call me and tell me to cheat for somebody, I will call your name. As a commissioner,
Absolutely.
I'm saying this. I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you because there are some people who are trying to manipulate the process.
Yeah, I don't want to go down the rabbit because I want you to touch on that.
Okay. So I'm just saying.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
I'm not calling your name today, but if you call me one more time and say I should cheat for somebody, I will call your name next time.
All right, Commissioner.
Yeah, absolutely. First, let me thank the Pepper Bird for allowing us this opportunity, and I hope you continue to allow us to come and share the space. I also want to thank my commissioners. A lot of oftentimes in our role as leaders, we have to learn how to kind of not pay attention to the noise. There have been some things said about us as commissioners, and I think Mr. Sio kind of mentioned it about how we are supporting a particular candidate or how we created a process and the process doesn't feel fair. It's everyone has the right to their opinion. I support that, but I do ask that you give us grace. Everything that we're doing is fair and transparent, and if you don't believe it's fair and transparent, email LIBAC Elections at Gmail. We'll share whatever information you want us to share with you. So give us grace. Don't be too hard on us. We are all volunteers. We're doing this of the love of our heart for this community because we want to see a better community. And we want you to trust us and trust the process, and we'll ensure you that if you do that for us, we will have a free, fair, and clean election. The other thing I would say really quickly is that I want to commend the two candidates again. It takes a lot of heart to put your name out there to be exposed, for people to talk about you, for people to drag you through the mud. And we see that as commissioners. We see it in the chat. We're not going to comment on it, but we see it. So we just ask that everyone, no matter who you're supporting, please be respectful. This is a volunteer job. No one is getting paid for it. This is not Liberia. We're trying to all do the right thing for this community. Don't be rude to candidates because you don't like them or like their vision. If the candidate win, you don't have to support them, but get out the way so they can do what they need to do. So please, let's start arguing. Let's start putting misinformation out there. Let's start ganging up on people. Let's start talking about people just because we don't like what they're saying or what we don't like their campaign. That's not how it should be. This is volunteer. This is for the betterment of our community. And I ask everyone out there to please govern yourself accordingly, and let's make this a fun election an election of purpose.
Thank you, Commissioner Chairman Smith and Commissioner Sio. I'd like to thank you guys so much for joining us this evening, giving us an overview of the election. Personally, on behalf of the Purber TV network, I'd like to thank IYCG Technologies. We are partnering with IYCG Technologies, and CEO Konka York has been very, very helpful throughout the entire time. We just want to say thank you. If you have any electronic needs out there, please feel free to reach out to the IYCG technologist CEO Konka York. His information will be in our chat room, and I think he pinned some information on the live as well, so you can reach out to him for all of your electronic or technological needs. So as you know, this program comes to an end. I would like to thank our listening audience for joining us this evening, and I want to say this as the founder and CEO of the Pepperbird TV network. This is a no political platform. I've said this over and over. There have been speculations in the community of the chat room being biased because people post and other people come and fill the chat room with their posts. Again, I want you to see it like a Facebook or Instagram, wherein folks post contents of their choice, as long as anyone is not abusive, not being conducting any malicious acts on there. I wouldn't be removing them from the chat room. I'm speaking directly back to the WhatsApp platform that we have that chat room over there. Now the network is completely different. It's generalized, so we have a lot of programs that will be coming up that you will be seeing here shortly. Today, earlier on, we had the health and wellness program, wherein Masato Gray was in studio with our general manager, Miss Weldon Williams, and they elaborated on the health and wellness program that will be launched here in August by Liberian nurse, joined by other nurses, from Liberian nationalities. So we will be doing a lot of things here that will benefit the community. At the end of the day, we are all one people, and I just want to say we should treat each other with respect. So if you think that this network was established to come after you, I think you have it wrong there. This is not what we are here for, but we are here to elevate our community, and we'll do all we can in our capacity to elevate this community to sustainable growth and development. So I want to thank you so very much, and I'll pass on to my host to close us.
Well, again, thank you everyone for being here. All of you who are in the room and all of you who are online, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for calling in, and thank you for dropping your questions in the chat. The last thing that I do want to say when it comes to the election process is definitely stay informed, but I want us to start practicing great practices and great habits when it comes to what Sam Smith said, when it comes to understanding exactly who you're voting for and making educational decisions on the change that we want to see. I asked the question earlier in the live, and I said, how do you think this mirrors what we have going on back home? And I think it goes back to voting for who we like instead of what change we need to see, not only within our Liberian community, but also within Liberia. So thank you guys so much. And I definitely want to leave you guys with this. God bless you and have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for tuning in.